Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Scents of South Jersey with me, Kellen, for another fragrance review. Today, I'm going to be reviewing a fragrance I've actually had for a while. I've been wanting to review it, and I finally, have been wearing it enough where I felt that I could review it accurately, give you guys a good representation. This is an 80s fragrance. It's classified as a woody aromatic. It's from the house of Lacoste. It is the 1984 release Lacoste Original, or Lacoste by Lacoste. It goes by a couple different names. So as we always do, we'll break down the fragrance into 5 parts. First, taking a look at its box and bottle presentation. Then I'll talk about the fragrance's notes. Then I'll talk about its performance based on my experience wearing the fragrance, give it my overall thoughts, and then of course my overall rating. And as always, if it's your first time here and you enjoy this type of classic men's fragrance content and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do so to support the channel, and check out the Scents of South Jersey Instagram page for news and updates on the channel. I always post photos of fragrances from my collection and of course scent of the day stories that you can see. So without wasting any more time, let's take a look at the original Lacoste. Okay, starting things off with the presentation, let's take a look at the box. It's a pretty simple, basic box here. Again, you have the classic white and green Lacoste. You have the alligator, says Lacoste here, says the size and the concentration. So this is a 50 ml box. The bottle I was just holding is 100 ml. I have a couple different versions of the bottle I can show you. On the top here, you have what looks like to be a silver stripe, whereas here it's white and green. Then you got the green border, and I got some sort of barcode thing here. And on the bottom, the seller that I bought this from, I think almost a year and a half ago, had some sort of sticker on there too, so it sort of ruined the bottom of the box, but that's okay. And as you can see, I have an aftershave box here. This is pretty much the same thing. It says original Lacoste. It's just gonna say aftershave. So on the bottom, that's what the bottom of the box looks like. And on the back, pretty much the basic, just some brand information. There are batch codes on here etched in, but that's not as important. So the bottle. Really cool, really 80s looking bottle, like extremely country club tennis looking with the built-in sprayer. It's a big, heavy, dark green glass. It's transparent though, you can see through, and this is like a white plastic thing here that's, I guess, connected, and then they have the built-in sprayer. So the distribution level here, it's an okay sprayer, not the best. It's kind of a weak burst of fragrance that comes out. On the bottom, you do have some brand info there, I guess another size and concentration, and this one does have a batch code, and it is 2283, and it's on the sticker, and it's from like Prestige something. I can't even read it, it's such small print. But again, pretty cool presentation. The bottle itself, I think, is what stands out the most. The box is relatively simple, but that's okay. Again, this is a very country club, 80s looking active tennis type of, racquetball type of a fragrance. That's what it reminds me of. And I really enjoy that they have a built-in sprayer. Okay, so let's take a look at the notes for Lacoste Original. Funny thing with this one is, as with many 80s fragrances, you see a ton of notes. It's stacked 10 top, middle, and in the base. With this one, it's actually kind of a moderate amount of notes compared to some of the other classics that I've reviewed. It doesn't have nearly as many. So let's take a look here in the top. You have lime, lavender, bergamot, lemon, and clary sage. And then in the heart or middle of the fragrance, you have basil, green notes, geranium, jasmine, carnation, and galbanum. And then in the base of the fragrance, you have oak moss, of course, vetiver, cedar, musk, tonka bean, and amber. So the notes that I pick up on immediately when you spray this thing, immediately in the air, you're gonna get that citrus. It's the lime. I think that's a key note with this fragrance, and the bergamot and lemon, but really lime, I would say, is the strongest in the top. And then, once it starts to dry down, you get a little bit of basil and green notes, obviously, and then definitely the oak moss and the vetiver come out too. But to me, if you could pick 3, it's the lime, and then I would say the basil, and then the oak moss. Those are the 3 with this one. But that citrus top is awesome. It's distinct. Anytime I smell it, I'm like, I know that's got to be Lacoste or something similar. Now let's get into the performance for Lacoste by Lacoste, or Lacoste Original. My experience is that it's relatively moderate. It's not a beast mode 80s fragrance. It's strong. The opening is strong. It's pungent. You can smell it. It smells fantastic. However, it's not going to last you all day. I would say between 5 and 6 hours. But then again, I'm sure that at some point, maybe on someone else, they may notice it. Someone else may notice it on you, on your clothing. But to me, on skin, I'm getting about 5 to 6 hours, which again isn't bad. It's a fresher fragrance. It's an active fragrance. So I think that that's relatively good for that type of style of fragrance. It's not a super beast mode fragrance. It's not a Koros. It's not like just an 8-hour scent. It's just not going to get you there, I don't think. But I think it wasn't designed for that. It was always designed to be kind of an uplifting, bright, sort of fresher, active fragrance. So 5 to 6 hours I think is okay. And you can spray a lot. You can always reapply with this one. There's nothing wrong with doing that. But that 5 to 6 hour range is pretty much where you're going to get with this fragrance. Okay, so I want to talk about my overall thoughts for Lacoste Original too. So when this fragrance is recommended to me by a subscriber, and I think someone that follows my Instagram page, and they sent it to me, told me like, hey, you can get some of these bottles because they have the 50 ml bottles too. These are still pretty readily available. You can get them on eBay and other sites like that. I found a bottle even on Nordstrom Rack. I guess they were selling some old stock. It's not that expensive, but I noticed prices have been hiking up for it. I do have several bottles too. So, this was one that I liked the second I sprayed it. It's just fresh, it's green, it's sporty, it's active, it's lime, citrus, and then with a touch of like barbershop style at the end with that oak moss and some of the other green notes in there too. It really just stands out as an active fragrance. I think it's perfect for the spring and the summertime. I think it's more of a daytime scent. It's definitely casual, but it's also a signature scent too, for sure. This could be the one scent that you go for every single day for the office. Definitely won't offend anybody. You spray it on before you get to work, and by the time you get there, it'll have calmed down a little bit. It'll have a nice scent aura about you. You know, again, I'm not sure on the projection or scent cloud or how far. None of that stuff is accurate anytime anyone says that anyway. However, this is one that I think would fit in there. Definitely not one that's going to last all day too. So if you're going to want to reapply it, that's okay. But it's just got that opening with that lime. It's so fresh and distinct. It's kind of sharp, and then it has a nice soapy, mossy dry down, and that's where the barbershopness of the fragrance comes into play too. So I noticed that there's a couple alternatives to this fragrance if you can't find it. They had a flanker in the past as well too. I've got some other things I can show you to help the performance. They do have an aftershave splash. This is what that bottle looks like here. You take this off. It's got a nice rubber stopper there to kind of decant or splash it into your hand so it won't spill everywhere. I've had this one for a while. Then they actually had a sport flanker as well too. That's called Lacoste Eau de Sport. So this one is, let's spray some on here so you can tell the difference. This is more rare. So this one's going to be harder to find. And essentially, it's funny because it's like the same thing. I know a while ago I talked about Koros and Koros Eau de Sport, how they were just like separated by just a few nuances that you could tell a little bit of the difference, but it really wasn't worth the money to get that one. This one I like better. This one's an aromatic fougere, where this one is represented as a woody aromatic, but how different could they possibly be? This one's got a little bit more of a Dracar Noir aspect to it, greener Dracar Noir, and this one I think is the sharper lime. So if you had to pick one, just go with the original. However, that's cool to have if you're a collector. So again, places you can wear this one, definitely at the gym. I wear this thing at the gym all the time. You could wear it to just going out casually. Again, it's a casual scent. Another alternative, if you can't find this one, is one of my favorite classic Italian fragrances from the house of Victor or Visconti di Madrone, and it is Acqua di Selva. Acqua di Selva is going to be a little bit more of a piney green, darker green fragrance, where this one is more lime green. But it'll get you there. It'll get you in the same realm. I think it's one that you can get still really inexpensive. The newer formulation is not going to have the built-in sprayer bottle, but again, still going to smell pretty much the same. And even if you want to track this down, the built-in sprayer, it's not that expensive at all. This is what the box looks like. I just put it back in. There's another fragrance by Adidas called Sport and Field. This one is an even sharper, brighter version of Lacoste too, so they're very similar as well. You can still get this. I think this one is also discontinued, but you can still find it. Either way, if you had to pick on any one of those, definitely get the Lacoste, but those are some alternatives there. The only other product I have is this Lacoste body wash here, but this stuff is so skunked, it's disgusting. I can't use it. I probably should just throw it away because it's useless. The first time I tried it, I was like, is that really the way it smells? And then I tried it again, and I'm like, I could tell it just smells like you're bathing in Windex. It's absolutely horrible. But again, bringing it back to Lacoste Original, excellent, sporty, active green, lime, citrus burst, and then that mossy, soapy dry down is really nice. It's just a far cry from what they put out today. I haven't tried many of the newer fragrances from Lacoste, but this is the one that I would think so far that I've tried hands down is their best. It's rating time. Let's go over the overall ratings for Lacoste by Lacoste, Lacoste Original. Let's go back to the presentation. Really like the bottle. The box is okay, but it fits. It's fitting. It keeps it that simple too. But I'm going to ding it a little bit for the box. However, I really do like the bottle. I'm going to give the presentation an 8.5 out of 10. So for the performance, Gonna go with a 5.5. So 5.5 out of 10. I don't know how long anyone else would experience the performance with. I'm getting between 5 and 6 hours, so right in the middle. Again, it's a fresher fragrance, so that's okay. Performance isn't as important anyway if the scent is great. Which bringing us to the scent rating, 8.5. Stuff is awesome. Love the fragrance. Fresh lime, mossy, soapy. It's bright, sporty, really great active scent, which kind of goes along with the look of Lacoste for sure, with the tennis, the preppiness, but at the same time, athletic wear, and pretty high-end smelling too. So it's gonna be 8.5 out of 10, bringing the overall rating for Lacoste by Lacoste to a 7.5 out of 10. All right, everybody, that's gonna wrap it up for me. That's a review of Lacoste Original or Lacoste by Lacoste. So I'm gonna hear from you guys in the comment section. Let me know, have you ever tried this fragrance? Is there a more modern or other fragrance by Lacoste that you own that you like better than this one? Or are you interested in trying this one? Is there another older vintage Lacoste that I should try? There's one called Land I'm trying to get my hands on. But I always appreciate all the interaction from you guys in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And if you have an Instagram, check out the Sense of South Jersey Instagram page. So I will see you guys all in the next video. Take care.